kind of a fun experience. I don't know.
Right.
Well, and I don't know if this is going to take a while to download. Gosh dang it, Garner, you piece of crap, not being prepared.
He's
we
opening
might
up
be
the plastic.
We might be playing Pokemon today. That's fine. I'm
Why?
mad.
Because you think
I'm mad. Well, I don't know how long, because usually games take time as well to download, like the data from the ROM.
lame.
That's why games are huge now. It's not like they used to be.
I miss the days where you just had to spend minutes blowing into it.
Yeah.
There's a meme about that, isn't there?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Haven't you ever seen it? Or it's like some kind of like dark Far Side type of thing?
Sure
where it's just like the game cartridge is telling the other cartridge, don't work. See what happens. And then it shows the kids like blowing into it, and the game cartridge is going like, oh.
That's funny. I like that. That's a good joke. Yeah, so we're starting Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I have done nothing on this, so like I have not looked up anything that anyone's doing. I have done nothing. So we are doing this at full unrequited newbie status. 2 minutes, that's not bad. I can just work with that. I'm gonna go get the case for this game. I'll be right back.
Alright. It's gonna take 2 minutes to download. What would you like to talk about in these 2 minutes? 1 minute remaining, 23%, 25%. I guess you guys can follow along. Are you guys seeing this? Our one viewer watching this as we download it. And you can hear kids in the background. That is exciting streaming quality for us all right there. 58, 60%. It's so fast. Xfinity. Pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew.
Yeah. I have my
Xfinity.
Yeah, Xfinity. And I have my Pikachu Pro controller, which I love. So
Pikachu Pro. That sounds salacious.
sounds salacious, but it's not.
Successfully downloaded. Update data. So out there, do you say data or data, or do you switch in between? Or is data
I
a
switch.
character on Star Trek Next Generation?
All three.
All three. He
I
says.
do all three. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am an all three kind of gal. I do all three.
He likes the trace datas. That's what he likes. Tears of the Kingdom. That is my life story.
Oh.
Just
Poor
tears.
Cam. So sad.
Just tears.
Just tears.
Lately, it's crying over my friend Destin.
Yeah. Pobrecito. Well, and that's the thing is like...
Spangly.
I want to put this on
Wow,
silent.
Pretty amazing graphics, everybody. I don't know. It reminds me kind of Dragon's Lair. You ever play that at the arcade? Such a hard game.
Are you talking about the one that was like...
It's a cartoon. It's like
Oh,
Don
yeah,
Bluth.
I know it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know of it. I didn't play it though.
Yeah, it didn't. You probably had to go to specific arcades, and I don't think it lasted very long because it's probably a lot like
Well, there's a ton of people that like read
E.T. the video game.
There's a lot of people that have done it now. Oh, people love that game. They love it. That's a very good.
Princess Hyrule.
Okay, so that do I jump?
She's like, "What are you doing, you doof? Just follow me."
Just follow me, please.
Hi.
I never imagined this well was all deep beneath Hyrule Castle. That's my Zelda voice.
That was horrible.
That was terrible.
Yeah, she sounds like a Skeletor spring off.
But yeah, I think when you have so much like angst and you don't really like what you see in the mirror, it's easy to get down like that. Whereas like I don't know that I really like what I see in the mirror all the time either, but like I just rely on my wife and on my kids, and they love me for who I am, and I never struggled with. I guess I never had that trial though either.
Yeah.
It's like maybe I would if I didn't have a significant other, but it's like I have you and I have Destin. Like you guys don't treat me badly because of like some insufficient nature of who I am.
Yeah.
And so it's just like
I think he thinks that would fix things too, or at least make things better. It can help, but at the same time, there's nothing that he's been able to fall back on either. Like throughout all my time being single and lonely, or whatever relationships I was doing poorly at, or whatever.
Let's check the controls really quick. Action, put away.
I had God.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy and smooth, and my sins kept me from feeling,
Right.
as my thing, worthy enough to participate in certain things or try harder. And sometimes I try harder, and then you go the back and forth and rock, but I do have that,
Well, and that's honestly what saw me through because I thought I was gonna marry a girl that I had been dating, and it turned out she had been lying to me for a year while I was on my mission, and it was devastating. Like still to this day, I've never felt pain like I felt when that happened, and and a lot of my story, and it's like that was the worst pain I ever felt, but it was like I had a good companion. My mission president was a very, inspired man, and he gave me someone who had gone through the same thing earlier in his mission, and he told him, he was like, your job is to take care of Garner. Like, that's your mission right now, because I only had one transfer left. And, he told me, it's like, yeah, you finished your mission, so I could send you home now. But he was like, but there's something you still need to learn, so I'm going to keep you here. And I'm grateful that he did. And then, obviously, I had the experience where I was coming off, walking, getting out of the van to our house, and my future wife with her mom was on a walk. And I saw her, and I was like, this is who I want to be with. And it was a funny experience because it's like, it didn't even necessarily mean that I had to necessarily marry her, but it gave me hope that what I had just gone through, that wasn't it. Mm-hmm. And it's like so important, just so valuable, so important, so worthwhile to me and to my future family, obviously. And then, adopting Jamie came in very specific tones and a very specific manner. We had, same kind of thing. We were a week from adopting a little girl out of Louisiana, and the week before, the mother backed out, which is fine. Like, I hope she's the best mom that's ever existed. Like, I don't feel bad for her making that choice. And then we found Jamie. We were able to fly out there on pretty much on a couple days' notice. We had family. She had family that lived there. We actually saw him yesterday. And he was the first person to take care of Jamie, because we went on a date, while we were in Alabama, and he watched Jamie, and it was like, and so he holds a very big piece of my heart, because if I could be a father like he's a father, then I'll have done a good job in my life. And it's just so just the people that have been around me and such a similar situation, not being able to have kids.
What's she got in her hand?
It's called a Sheikah slate. The idea was so this is the sequel to Breath of the Wild, which was the first Zelda on the Switch. The idea is that because the Switch is unique, right? It's a console that you can pull out of this dock and play handheld. The Sheikah slate was intention to be oh, look, you have a Switch, they have a Sheikah slate, that's kind of cool. That was the idea. Die, Zelda, die.
It just seems to put a weird modern technological
you'll kind of see. You really should have. It would be good for you maybe to watch some Breath of the Wild videos, so you can see how ancient technology was like super advanced, but then long forgotten in their world. So it's kind of cool, like how it all like mixes together. But yeah, it is. It's a touch of modernity with obviously Zelda's like knights and kings and queens and horses, and so it's kind of. But they did a really good job though. It's not like hokey or stupid. So I like how they've managed to like make it all fit together.
Looks like a lightsaber.
Well, Link reminds me of you. If you were a video game, you'd be him.
Running around in circles. Yep.
Yeah. His hair is even set back in that mode right now. So looks good, Cam.
Thank you. So in this situation, without going too personal for our friend here, what could you do for somebody with a secular and agnostic background in Anchor? I mean, do you really just have to hope and pray that his heart could be softened to receive something? Because, I mean...
Honestly, the only thing, and I honestly don't even think it has to be just of a spirit, like, because we're, believe ourselves to be spiritual beings that are trying, and we obviously talk about Christ on this channel, and we do that. It's honestly just the continual reaching out. Like, if people who feel alone and like buy things because it thinks that like, and not that Destin's doing this, but a lot of people like they buy stuff trying to, make them feel good, and I did it with Pokemon cards for a long time, and and then the feeling kind of subsides, so then you realize, oh, it's kind of hollow. It's like the constant reaching out of like and taking very seriously our brotherhood, like making time, not simply because we want to, not simply because it's our duty as Christians, not simply because it's our duty as friends. It's all of those things together. Like, I genuinely enjoy my time with you. I genuinely enjoy my time with Destin. And honestly, I get depressed when I don't see you guys. Like, it makes me sad because it's like I fully believe that we have found each other in this life for a purpose, and like we are a part of something together, and the more that like we lean into that, the more that all three of us are going to be.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it takes like effort. It takes like, okay, like it's just like this. It's like every Monday, like we know we've set it aside. So it's like whether, I would love weekly. But like if other people are like, well, bi-weekly is good enough, I'll start at any point, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, you set a time, you set a day, and it's like, that's what I do that day. That's what I do at that time. So like whatever it is, it's like everything else, and only in very specific circumstances, like, does maybe you have to move it to another day, just like what we have to do sometimes. But it's like, but for the most part, it's like, no, like it is set aside for us to be together here and to enjoy each other's company, have fun playing games, talking about Christ, talking about important things that are happening in the world and our lives. Because it's like, I used to think that we try, because in America we believe in stoicism, we believe in being set up and independent. We forgot that like some of the most beautiful things in this life are the relationships that we develop and have, whether they're family, whether they're like friends who become like family. It's like, and that's how I think you help someone, that anyone, because if you were Catholic, like, and like practicing Catholic, like it wouldn't be any different, because like we would still be in this same boat, because we would have different beliefs, even if they were small, because he still has very similar values to us, which we at least have that. It'd be really hard if we didn't have the same values, And honestly, he probably wouldn't want to hear from us, and we might not want to hear from him all the time either. But we at least have that, and even beyond, because we just care about him. Like, we love him. Like, we want him. We want him to succeed. It hurts us when he hurts, and like, we want him to have. I want both of you to have everything I have. I tell you guys that all the time, because of how much I think it makes me like better and happy, because like, yeah, and all the trials that you've gone through and the trials that he's going through now, it's like you need brothers who understand you and are willing to like walk through the fire.
Which really makes a difference, and just trying to change my heart. It actually made me feel better about roots, to be honest with you. I mean, some of the stuff is still really hard, and kids and phones and stuff like that, but I don't know. By the end of the year, and I wasn't burnt out or upset. I was just like, all right, I made it through another year. I'm excited to go back and see what happens next year.
That's good.
Like when you see the graduates, right? Now that I've been there for 2 years, and some of them, giving you hugs and stuff at the end.
Right.
It kind of sucks to not see them. I won't see them next year. So
well, it's like we do kind of a goodbye thing for the baseball team, and I this is my first year, so I haven't built the relationships with like the kids that have been there for 4, but like super stoic guy, the head coach who hired me, definitely Ganondorf. And he was bawling like a baby, and it's just like he, because those things are tender in there, and that's what makes it good. Because like when I told students I wasn't gonna come back, and they, had, and they had me during the year, and they were probably hoping to have me the next year, they were bawling, and it made me feel appreciated and loved. And I have a lot of students this year that are like, I want to be in your class next year. I'm gonna tell my counselor that. And so it's like all the crap that one can feel, it makes you, oh goodness gracious.
I was gonna say, I wonder why he has so many hearts.
Yeah.
And
that's always a ploy. It is always the same. Like we just Symphony of the Night, the same thing. Yeah.
Just did that.
If you ever see that, it's like something's going down. Oh man, it just broke. I just broke the Master Sword. And so it's just like, that's good though, man. I'm happy that you had, and we'll, I'd like to continue the conversation that we were having before we started this, especially if it's like something that we shouldn't just, share here. But it's like, yeah, in the interim of other things that we're talking about. I have no idea how Raru is, though. Is that maybe her dad? Maybe the king? But yeah, like, hopefully... And I'm pretty sure this is the link from Ocarina of Time link. So I'm pretty sure...
links?
Yeah, so, well, think of them as, like, generations, right? Kind of like the Belmonts. So all the links are, like, different because they're, like, different generations. I'm pretty sure... this Link and this Zelda are the same Link and Zelda from the Ocarina of Time generation. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, like, I hopefully... When you mentioned art style, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. The Switch is it's one of my favorite systems, one of my favorite consoles ever. Like, I love the Switch. Love it. But they did a really smart thing. One of the problems with the Wii was that it didn't get a lot of third-party support because it didn't have the capabilities that like the PS3 and eventually the PS4 had, right?
Yeah.
And the Xbox. So it was easier to make really good games on those systems than on the Wii. Well, what they did is they're like, okay, let's do this. We're going to make kind of a style that fits the graphic capabilities of the Switch, and then if developers like ourselves make it to those kind of graphical style, then you won't see such a big lag or such a big drop point from like competing consoles like the PS5 and the Xbox, right?
Mm.
When this came out during the PS4 generation. Super smart idea, like super smart, because like I feel like these graphics are very like pleasing. Like I like the way it looks, but they're not like, as far as computing power, they're not anywhere near like what the PS5 can do. Yeah. But it works, and a lot of games adapted their style that way, and they they come up with their own little stuff, so it's a little different, which is good. It's unique, but they just were smart about it. So then you don't really hear about, well, the graphics can't handle it. It's like, well, yeah, they can't, but this looks beautiful. Like, it's really good still. And it's like, so, and like, yeah, are there a little rough edges, and is the frame rate is not, as good as it could be? Yeah, all those things are true. But you buy consoles for the games that you can play. Like, the reason why people buy the Switch is because they get to play Zelda. And if you make Zelda a good game, which Breath of the Wild was good, and everything I've read as far as like review of like its value, they've said that this is really good. So it's like, yeah, Nintendo learned a big lesson, and they really hit it out of the park with the Switch. And this is the original Switch. I don't have the OLED version. I don't know if I'm going to get the OLED version, because I don't think it's actually more powerful as far as computing process. It just has like a better screen, and it's bigger, a little bigger, the screen. Yeah. But maybe. It's like, I don't really have $300 like burning a hole in my pocket though. Yeah. I could have bought the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom version for the Switch, and then I could give this to like my kids, and that's not a big deal either. But Jamie's 6, so he's not even really, I don't know that he's really old enough to have his own console yet. Yeah. Not yet. Probably not yet. Maybe a couple more years. And hopefully by then, I don't have a sword.
It was in the
I
garage.
don't have a sword.
You gotta go grab it.
You know what? It's a good thing you're paying attention. Cam's like, you stupid piece of poo. It's broken.
You can still whack people with it.
Jeez, the Master Sword. Decayed Master Sword. A sword that seals the darkness. Its sacred power has been diminished after being ravished by the Gomini. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it would still hurt if I tried to shiv you with it.
Why do I feel like this is like
attack? Yeah.
Adventure Time story? Doesn't the same thing happen to Finn in Adventure Time?
I have never seen Adventure Time. Another thing you can show me and we can experience together. I love finding new experiences. They're the best. Me and my wife we've run out of things to watch, so I was like, what we should do is we should watch all the movies that like we enjoyed as kids.
Oh yeah.
So like last night we watched, we didn't finish it because she fell asleep, but we started Ghostbusters. I'm gonna show her all the Ninja Turtles. She has a bunch of movies that like Tuck Everlasting, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I think that'll be fun.
You get to watch a bunch of teenage rom-coms, huh?
Yeah. When she was
Things I hate about you.
She wasn't like, well, I actually liked teenage rom-coms. Actually, I grew up on those, to tell you the truth. I love 10 Things I Hate About You. She wasn't really that girl, but she liked, what was the one with Drew Barrymore? She just was watching it. We didn't watch it together. That's actually what made me think of the story.
First Kiss?
Ever After?
Oh, Ever After.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You said Tech Everlasting. I'm like,
that was a different one, but yeah, same kind of idea. That was kind of her thing. Is like, yeah, it's a romantic movie, but it's not like 10 Things I Hate About You. Like it's different. I'm not gonna lie, I do not have the buttons on the Switch down as good as I have them on. I just really liked.
Water from a great heart will prevent you from taking fall damage.
Okay, cool.
Oh, there's fall damage, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
huge fall damage in this game.
Is there summer and winter damage as well? Maybe spring. Dad joke of the night.
It's a good thing you're so cute.
Archaic legwear. That's what they call it.
I love it. I
I
wish
need some pants.
I wish I could wear archaic leg wear.
You can. You just can't.
I'll get fired.
If you wore a kilt, you think you'd get fired?
Maybe. Probably not. I'd have to figure out how to wear a kilt though, because like I don't know how to wear something that.
Yeah.
I'm not calling it a skirt, but something that's not pants. I don't know how to wear that. I've never
Also
worn
feel,
anything like that.
unless you actually have Scottish ancestry that does have a clan that has a kilt and a certain tartan, then I don't know if you should wear it just for fun.
Look, do you
think
like
they
it?
call-
Do you love Italian food?
I think they call
I'm
it
Italian. Do you
cultural
love it?
appropriation.
Yeah, I know that's what they call it. I say I don't care.
Ah!
You know why cultural appropriation doesn't work on this guy? Because of my family structure. I actually did the math today. We are 1.75 parts minority,
75.
and we are 2.25 parts white. So
Did you do this?
I was just thinking about it today.
Did
It's
you
like,
do
oh,
a
that's kind
DNA
of fun.
test on this?
Oh no, I just on like
You
Brittany is half, right?
You should.
No, I don't care about. I am doing a DNA test on Jamie though, because I do want him to know
Why
where.
don't you want to do it on you?
Because I know where I'm from. I'm white. I'm European. I'm Italian and English. I don't care how much.
Yeah,
But I
you
do want to know where Jamie comes from, because maybe that can help him with like
I think you'd
future.
be surprised, and then you could see, you know, if any of your other relatives.
Oh, I am Irish as well.
Relate to it. Because I mean, my DNA was a lot different than my family search results would suggest.
That would definitely still kill you.
Yeah, that would.
Water tension. Don't care what you say.
He's gonna join the
Wish
divers at the Mayan. I wish they still had that place.
I know. I really liked that place too.
Yeah.
The food was fine.
Yeah, but it's like an atmosphere thing. It's like Casablanca in Denver or Colorado Springs, wherever that's at.
It's like medieval times.
Welcome to medieval times.
I really liked. Every time I go to California, I try to get anyone who's with me to go
Oh yeah,
to medieval times.
we
I
loved
love
it as kids. Oh my
Yeah, it
gosh!
was so good.
And then the cable guy made it even better.
I know. It's so funny.
People give that movie such a hard time, and
It's because it's a terrible movie.
It's
But it's terrible but it's still
terrible.
fun.
How
It's still
though?
fun. It's not well written. The jokes don't really land.
It's-
Jim Carrey is like, it's a weird character for Jim Carrey, especially when you watch like Dumb and Dumber.
He's an over-the-top,
But-
obsessed, lonely guy that was raised
Yeah.
on television.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's relatable to like most people.
But
They were
it is but
Asian.
it's
I'm pretty
love-
Sure they were
it's
Asian.
it's it's a beloved movie though. Now that we can
it's
like
got
appreciate it.
Jack Black and
Oh, that's right.
Jim Carrey and
So what is really good about this game, and you will probably notice this from the Zeldas that you played, is like nothing is really off limits now. Like you can pretty much like climb everything. Like if I had a sharper sword, I could cut that tree down. Like you pretty much like the world is like the world. Like it's as real as you can possibly get, right?
I mean that's cool, but it also sounds like dangerous territory at some point.
Oh yes.
I
I'm
think
sure
we've talked about that a little bit.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Get away from me, thing.
Wooden stick in the shape of a sword. Ooh.
Well, that broke.
The wooden stick broke?
No, the piece of the Master Sword.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. It's not really broke, because like other weapons actually like break.
What kind of character was that?
It kind of goes with the aesthetic I was telling you about, like ancient technology.
Yeah, it looked like a robot, something
It's
from
a new kind of thing.
the movie Robots.
We got a Zonai chart. I have no idea what Zonai are yet, though. I don't remember. I haven't played. Because I played Breath of the
It's
Wild
a
on the
lithium-ion battery.
on the Wii U.
That's right. Zelda's going green. He believes in global warming. You should too.
Cam?
You know that's what that kind of is.
You're killing me here.
I'm Broom Boy.
Now I forgot what I was talking about. All the segues.
We were talking about how these video games are becoming another world that you can involve yourself into.
Oh yeah, and I mean it's obviously things are dangerous
Oh my
because of that
gosh,
too.
he looks like Gollum from the Hobbit.
He knows my name.
cartoons.
He knows my name. Princess Zelda.
I was really